Hello and welcome to Pitch Please. We're live.
Whoa! Wow!
Physical. If you're watching the video right now,
horribly.
If you're watching the stream,
Yeah.
we're here physically. If you're not, you can just hear us. You can just hear us as you normally would, I suppose. But
Yeah.
It might sound a bit
Or
different.
if you close your eyes, it's just like the regular episode.
Yeah, so you can do that as well. If you haven't listened to this before, this is the show where people who play games pitch ideas to people who make them. I haven't said that on the top for quite a while.
No,
I
it's
realised.
good. It's gold.
Yeah.
I love
Best
it.
intro you've done.
My
Yeah.
name is Alex. Opposite me is Christopher Yules, developer
I get a full name?
of Foggybox.
Wow, thank you.
Hello.
It's, nice to see you.
How
I
you
bet
doing?
you saw you 2 days ago.
No. I'm also joined by James from Catastrophic Overload.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, lovely to see
How's it
you as
going?
well, Alex. Yeah.
And
There you go.
I'm also finally
Finally
joined
works. Yeah.
by
last,
Thomas.
last but probably least.
Thomas the Ideas Mammoth.
Wow! I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, this
Full
one
of
is
ideas.
it's a live episode as part of the podcast week. But
Yeah.
don't worry, the episode will be as normal if you're worried and you're listening to this in the future.
We're going for the
Probably
full
a
week.
bit sloppy.
We're going for we're actually slotted in every single day.
Just us.
Yeah, it's just us. But yeah, it's going to be just a regular ass episode. We're
Yeah,
gonna, me and Alex.
Bumper, right?
A little bumper episode, slightly longer. Yeah, it's going to be pure gold all the way through.
Sure.
They
Pure
always are.
gold, which they always are. Yeah, me and Alex are the guys that play games.
Yeah.
You guys, you make them.
I do.
Right.
Are you ready to?
But you don't play them.
Oh,
No.
no, not these days.
Never.
Who has time for that?
Yeah. Hey, do you want a pitch?
Please.
Have you got a pitch, Tom?
I do,
Got an idea?
well, do I have a pitch?
So this,
No.
this has been a thing. We've been going on. How long have we been doing this now? Like
Too long.
2 years?
'Cause
2
it's
years.
more than that.
Coming up.
3?
So we're coming up to 3 years, yeah, because it'll be coming up to our third end of year Matt Castle special.
Yeah.
So I look
yeah.
forward to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're coming up to the third year. We've been doing this for this long. This entire year, I'd say, has been like every year has like a slightly different variation on it, different theme, right? The 1st year was like deck builders.
Yeah, the
and then
next year was deck builders, but also XCOM.
Yeah, and this year it's just been
Deck
other-
builders, but also-
but other people's ideas.
Other people's
that we've
ideas, yeah.
run dry.
And then how can we turn them into deck builders?
Yeah. How
This
can we
is-
ruin
yeah.
them and turn them into deck?
It's not ruining it. It's not going to ruin it if we turn it into a deck builder. It
Yeah.
only enhances. Think of a game that has cards that doesn't need cards. You can't. There you go. Mainly because I put you on the spot.
Stump me, yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. So we've had a load of listener pitches sent in. I don't think they fully expected they'll be on the live episode, but I mean, they were at the top of the email list. So, so yeah, if you have ideas for the show or games you would like to
Yeah.
not ever see made, but be talked about in an hour-long format, then you can send it to pitchpleasepod@yogscast.com. And the first email we have from sent to pitchpleasepod@yogscast.com.
Going well?
Yeah.
I wonder if
from-
we'll get a live email now during this podcast.
If we do, we have to read it.
Okay.
That's
no
the
matter
rules.
what it is,
Stop.
no matter the content.
Whatever you send in is going to get
Tom's
read
going to read it live.
No more, please.
Yeah. But the first one we have is from Joseph. And they say, "Hello, my name is Joseph."
Hi.
Which is a good
Joseph.
start.
Hi, Joseph.
And I've had this idea for quite a while. I'm a programmer and have dabbled in Unity in the past, and have always thought this would be an interesting game to make, but don't quite have the artistic ability to see my vision come to life. So we have an aspiring game dev sending in their ideas.
It's all downhill from there.
It's all downhill. But maybe with just some artistic flair, this game could exist. So the idea is one game master in isometric top-down view controlling zombie units and 3 players fighting them off in a first-person shooter view.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Okay.
I get that.
You see it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
This is my... Normally people don't see this, where I just stare up and off into the distance and squint while I'm trying to imagine what this game
Looks like
looks
you
Yeah.
maybe weeing yourself.
Normally,
Always.
Happy about
Well, you got to have that warm feeling.
normally you look constantly furious.
Wait, but that's just
That's
my
just his
resting face.
Yeah, resting fury face. So what do you think of that? Just Game Master isometric top-down view, while the other guys, other players.
I want to just immediately jump in and veto the possibility of it being VR in case you bring that up.
Wasn't
Okay.
going to say that.
Just because
there's enough of
there are
those.
games. Yeah, exactly.
There's enough of those,
yeah,
and I'm
I agree.
like,
there are plenty of like there's like hide and seek games. That was one of the big things when VR first came around, right?
Oh,
Like,
I remember. Yeah,
There's a lot of VR is like big monster, and then
Yeah.
the other
and you're running around.
running around.
Yeah.
I feel like
there's a lot of.
been.
I think we
Don't worry.
talked about it before, actually. It was a great game where it's like the seer, and you're like hiding, trying to get to the end.
Yeah,
That was great fun.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
not do that.
So let's not do that.
So it's not in VR, but I mean, it's a zombie survival game. So I suppose in this instance, do you remember Left 4 Dead had the director AI that ramped up difficulty if you were doing super well or if you're low on
They
ammo
really
or
sold
whatever
that,
it was?
That whole like director thing, didn't they? It was like there was
it
actually
was great. It was really good. I mean, I don't know how much it actually.
I mean, I feel like Alex is about to say, "I don't think I ever noticed it," and you're saying it's really good.
No, I did.
Oh,
I did.
okay,
Like
right.
it did feel
The way
like
you were
a thing.
talking was like-
it was just the first time that I'd seen a game where they'd actually given the AI like a name. Like there was like an actual robot there.
Right,
behind director.
okay.
The idea of like having a director. Like I don't know what made it better than.
Well, it's reactionary,
Than
right?
other
rather
ga-
than here's a wave, here's a wave. He's like,
Was that
"Are you doing-
was that the first
doing
time that
well?"
ever happened in?
I would
video
say-
games?
Valve like to just do a lot of stuff where they're like, "Here's we're doing this thing."
Sure.
And because they're talking about it publicly,
Yeah.
I mean, if any other company I think did that and they were talking about that, you just be like, "Okay, oh well." Like Alien Isolation also has great AI, which I think people appreciate.
Yeah.
And there
It's
was
got
like,
two,
there's been
right?
loads of
That's
talks.
true.
It's its
on-
own. It's like separate.
Yeah.
Which was the whole fun thing about
It
it.
learns.
Which is great, and it does learn and it adapts to how you play. And people are talking about it, but that's a key feature of it. I think with Left 4 Dead, like I would say, for me, what's more impressive is just the sheer number of things going on screen.
I think-
because they kept mentioning it, people talk about it, and it becomes.
Well, I think prior to that, I'm probably wrong, but prior to that, I mean, there was probably randomized enemy spawning and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not-
but
yeah.
it wasn't reactionary to,
No.
say, your health level, the current progress you've made through the level, how much ammo you had. I mean, I don't
Well, and
know
that's the
fully
thing.
how much it was
it could have
reacting.
been, but people didn't talk about it.
True. Yeah. Okay.
No one really cared about what goes on in the game. If the game is good, then they're like, "Well, that game's
Yeah.
good," because you don't notice it, right?
yeah.
Was Left 4 Dead the first of those kind of games? Like the not wave-based games, but like where you're trying to get from
Oh,
A
what
to
kind
B,
of
Like
and
a
you're
linear.
like Vermintide, I guess, is also
yeah.
Left
What do you
4
call
Dead
those?
sort
What
of.
is- I feel like there's a decent amount of them now. They're actually called.
What, just a survival?
A linear
Yeah.
survival shooter.
Are they just called Left 4 Dead likes? Is that why I can't think?
What
of
was that game
Left
you
4
can play in like Piers, the arcades, where you've got the light gun? Time
Time
Crisis.
Crisis.
I think
Time
Time Crisis might have been the first Left 4 Dead.
House of the Dead. Sorry,
House of the
yeah.
Dead, Piping of the Dead was a Left 4 Dead game.
that was.
Yeah.
I think Left 4 Dead was directly inspired by it. Just
So
like you actually control the game.
The only difference, I guess, is that it's multiplayer. They just added other people into it.
Time Crisis was multiplayer, you fucking shrimp.
You're right, it was, wasn't it?
I don't know why I called you.
Assuming both stations worked, which they
Biggest
never
burn I've
did.
ever had.
Oh, no, they never worked, no.
Never both
There
together.
was always one that was unable to reload because a cursor wouldn't go off the screen
Do you
properly.
remember the Halo game we played at that?
Yes.
The bowling
Yeah.
alley.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Yeah, it was
Four
4-player. We all played it.
Madness.
That was good.
It was 2 teams, wasn't it? It
We,
was like
yeah, we all played it.
fire team.
We all, for some reason, went bowling, and the main reason we went bowling was because the bowling alley had a Halo
you and I
arcade
walked
machine.
past that like several months ago.
Yeah, and we were
But-
like, we're
yeah.
gonna play this, and it was actually
was
really
good,
good.
yeah.
It was basically just Halo, but with a light gun. Like
I
it felt
remember
great to
correctly.
play as well.
If I remember correctly, I was the last person alive.
Yeah, you were good at the game.
I don't remember that.
I did.
I do remember it because he was.
Oh, that's weird.
I was very smug about it, I think.
We were all stood there waiting
that
for
rings-
the credit to run out. He just kept going. It was a lot of fun until Chris, started gloating. Anyway, so in this case, we've gone a little bit off topic. So the Left 4 Dead director, in this instance, there is a player that is a director. So they can send in, I suppose, waves of units or boss zombies or maybe even beneficial things, possibly. I don't
Okay.
know. But yeah, it's 1 versus 3. And I guess your goal as the director is kill these 3 people.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, so it's 1 versus 3. So it's not like you're attempting. You are trying to kill them.
I
all the
guess
other
you
players.
could also play it like a dungeon master, right? Where you're trying to craft the most
Yeah.
tense
See, that kind
adventure.
of sounds.
Do you guys
maybe more
remember
interesting to
the
me.
almighty quest for Epic Loot or World?
I do remember that.
massive loot for Quest and
So
Might or whatever it was.
The
Massive
the
chalice.
almighty quest
No, it
for
wasn't that.
epic loot.
Yeah, it's
was
the
a
way
bit-
you make your dungeon and other people go and try and run through.
There was like a dungeon keeper element to it almost, where you planned out the dungeon
Yes,
first.
that was obviously asynchronous.
And it had traps in. Yeah, and then you would go offline
And people would-
raid your dungeon based
Yeah.
on the design of it. But it felt very like it felt like it was a really cool idea that wasn't that well executed. Because I remember playing like a little bit,
Yeah.
and then there was like it had like a lot of free to play elements about it. I think there was a lot of like
Oh yeah.
you can
Yeah,
make your
yeah.
dungeon better if you spend 1,000 gems.
Yeah, but I'm assuming this is a lot more like reactionary of, oh, you're going to get through here. I'm going to place something here behind this door because I know that they're going to go down that way. Or, I might be getting too far ahead.
No.
There's quite a lot of text on your phone.
No, it's not a huge amount. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's how I imagine it. Where,
Yeah.
okay, I have a certain amount of points that I can spend at the start, and though that ticks up over time, which means I need to be careful on how I'm spending my points.
Yeah.
I need to be able to spend stuff.
yeah, I
Maybe
guess
it's
you
like
could also.
thinking.
Yeah.
Something's
There's
going on
nothing
here.
going on behind here. I'm just like,
Okay.
I guess, playing catch up. So, like, obviously the 3 are first person, right?
Yeah, they're playing.
first person, just running
from
through.
what I assume is.
Yeah,
Left
what
4
is
Dead.
that?
Game
Okay,
Master
right.
is
They're
the
playing
bar.
Left 4 Dead.
They are literally floating in the sky.
Is it fantasy Left 4 Dead, or is that not even established yet?
It just it does say they are fighting them off in a first-person shooter view. So I mean, it can be.
literally anything.
It can
okay.
be.
That's good.
Yeah.
How are you seeing it? What are
Yeah,
you
I mean,
imagining? Guns?
It's very
Swords?
much as it is, isn't it? It's hard to know where to go from there.
Magic?
Well,
Very much
great.
Like,
Oh,
There's
is that?
more to the pitch if you
Gun-
want it.
and you've got your big person above that.
Do you have guns?
I
Have
think
you
you,
got
you
guns?
could
so.
easily do like a chivalry of first-person archer and a mage.
Yeah.
Like you could
The classic team.
the classic team.
You could also have
Yeah, very happy
1v4,
with it.
But then,
Dead by Daylight style.
does that feel like it's too close to like
Oh.
a D&D kind of setting?
Is that a
Does
bad
that?
thing?
Does it feel not? I don't know. Maybe. To me,
Like
it does.
Baldur's Gate, but with
What?
something else sort of-
What do you?
It feels like they've
what do you
already
want it to
got
be?
that. I
What
don't
do
know.
you- what do you
I
want?
don't know what I want.
So you don't
Keep
want it to
going,
be.
keep going.
You don't want it to be like anything we've had before. So what's a Left 4 Dead style game that doesn't exist? We can't have space because I'm pretty sure the Alien
Darktide.
Darktide, Warhammer Darktide,
Can't have rats.
is like that. Can't have
Oh,
rats.
yeah.
Can't have Skaven. Can't have big orcs and ogres. Can't have zombies. In the zombie
it's a
survival game.
zoo, and the zoo is but the
Why do we always go to zoo?
the zoo. I don't
You
know.
play as-
Wait, are
It's
you
a zoo.
killing the animals? Or are
Yeah,
you-
the zoo is okay. No,
Jurassic
Jurassic
Park.
Park.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So it's
Jurassic Park.
Turok.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's Turok 4 Dead.
Dino
Turok Left 4
Crisis.
Dead.
Turok. Yeah, maybe. There you go. What about dinosaur survival?
I mean, I'm more interested in that than
Yeah?
the fantasy side of it. I don't know if that's just me personally or just that
Get
we've
T-Rex.
got that. We've had that. T-Rex. Yes. I love that.
Are you proud of
Let's
you?
do it.
He's proud of himself.
Yeah, sure.
I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah, I can tell.
Thanks, Chris.
The look came in my eyes, and I was like, oh,
Well,
I'm gonna
describe
say
the
it.
look for podcast listeners. He looked like Ted Bundy.
Wow.
Anyway, shall I carry on? Would
Yeah.
you like
Yeah, I
me to
think we've
carry
got-
on?
Yeah, we've got.
Because again, there's more pitch.
Opening
There's always more
reactions.
pitch. So for the game master, units cost blood points, which you get from hurting players. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, the more damage you do,
Okay.
I guess at risk of snowballing. Then, if you do a ton of damage, then you're summoning in bigger guys to do a ton of damage and so forth. But yeah, you only place down units where players don't have line of sight to keep the game immersive.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good. That's a good idea.
Well, you
No?
don't want to see things pop in unless you. I mean,
you
Do
definitely
you not?
do.
That
not
could
a
be quite
dinosaur.
fun.
Well, you want it to
It
have
was
it
like
like.
just hatch and then.
Well, I guess
run.
I'm imagining it bursting in, right? I guess I'm.
Oh
imagining
yeah,
the
like
same
you could
thing.
just
Or maybe
jump
there's-
scare people.
Yeah,
Maybe there's
exactly.
certain
Yeah.
zones where, like, the ground is
I feel
weaker or
like
something.
I feel like you could have
Right,
you could
yeah.
have bush, right, and a raptor. You spawn the raptor in the bush, and it jumps out the bush.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it would cost
that's-
more to.
Yeah, it costs
like,
more
costs
blood
more
points to
to-
do it in
yeah.
line of sight or
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
in
you could do that.
proximity.
If it was space, you could do drop pods, but it's not. It's dinosaurs now.
Well,
Drop eggs.
Space
now what
dinosaurs?
if
They were space dinosaurs.
what if they were space dinos?
Yeah.
Robo space dinos survival for
Cyborg.
dead.
I feel like that
Like a
might be a
cyborg
game
T-Rex.
theme somewhere. Space dinos.
Far Cry Blood Dragon, did that have a space?
That had
Surely it did.
cyborg dinosaurs in it.
Yeah,
Amazing soundtrack.
and an amazing soundtrack,
Amazing.
which is one we can replicate for this game.
Yeah, we just steal it.
Perfect. Anyway, I like the idea of I guess situational spawning, I suppose, where you can place things, but also maybe there's as they're going through the map, because Left 4 Dead have like these huge like set piece moments. I remember. Do you remember the plane crash in one of the episodes? In one of the episodes. And
they are episodes, really, aren't they?
Yeah, but I remember that happening, and I loved that. That was so fucking good.
I think the one good thing about Left 4 Dead is they do have those set pieces, like, you need to activate the generator, and that is obviously going to do that. But there's also the car alarms, like there's optional ones which are pure either chaos from the player who does it on purpose and shoots it, or accidental. Same with the witch, right? You can choose to engage. What's our witch?
Our witch?
I feel like a raptor, maybe.
A raptor?
A sleeping raptor.
I think a raptor running at you and slashing at you while you're on the ground, a la the witch, is that's pretty similar. Would you have to sneak around a raptor and it's like crying in the corner though? You can't shine your light on it.
Or what if it's like a raptor nest, or some kind of dino nest?
Definitely feels a bit
you
alien,
go too close.
Yeah, the egg.
Hatch
as you disturb it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because dino eggs are
and then a
always
raptor
just ready
jumps
to
out
blow.
like
ready to
full
go
at any point.
They're cyber eggs or something. I don't. Wait, hang on.
True. Proximity-based cyber eggs.
Space dino eggs. Yeah.
Rapid gestation.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or it could just be like a mine, a proximity mine or something, and because the explosion goes off, that brings
the explosion. The explosion is just raw meat.
Yeah,
and it just makes them flop. It's like then for like the boomer class. What's that one that spits on him in Jurassic Park?
Llama.
The one with
like
Dilophosaurus.
Not a llama.
A llamasaurus. A llamasaurus rex.
So the dinosaur spits on him, and what does that lure in more?
No, but you could do that. Either it could block
Acid
your view.
Well, that blinds.
Does that blind
Mario Kart?
Sure.
Or
that would be like the jockey,
Boomer?
or like, wouldn't it? The jockey that. Oh no, not the jockey. Which is it? Does the boomer blind you as well as like?
Yeah.
Well,
like the green shiz.
Oh yeah.
Green
right,
shiz. Schnoz.
But you could use. I mean, I don't know any other. I was about to say special abilities that dinosaurs have, but also they're cyborgs. So
what about
a Triceratops could breathe fire for all we want.
It could do.
Well, also they could have been because they're like robo space ones. They've been like crossbred, so they've been like engineered, like cross-engineered. So you have like you have like
Bronchiosaurus Rex.
Yeah,
it's just a Bronchiosaurus with four tiny arms.
All the worst elements of T-Rex.
Scuttles really close to the ground, but it's got a long neck and long tail.
It doesn't do anything. It's not offensive at all, and you can't.
No, it can't.
It can't attack.
Yeah. It just swings its neck, right? It could move out of the way because it was obviously there.
Yeah,
herbivores.
Sure. Well, I was going to say the Brachiosaurus could be like the smoker from Left 4 Dead, the one that tongues you and pulls you in, but the Brachiosaurus, its head comes out and goes all the way around and then bites you, pulls you in.
There you go.
So are we settled on this being dinosaurs now?
I think we
are
gone.
Too invested in the
cyborg dinosaurs.
I'm pretty sure this is what Joseph wanted.
It feels like a TV show.
So the one thing
it's basically Power Rangers, right? No. If we have the Megazord,
like
they
Beast
all come
Wars.
together.
There's a Megazord now.
I think there should be a Megazord, yeah.
Meets like Street Sharks, kind of.
Right. Mighty mice. What were they called?
Biker mice from Mars.
Biker mice from Mars.
Not the mighty mice from Mars.
I think it was I don't know. I don't know why I thought it was that. So yeah, there you go. We've stolen a few Left 4 Dead special zombies. We haven't actually got any of our own, except the fire-breathing one, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a fire-breathing.
Which is a Bronchosaurus. So it doesn't typically breathe fire. But
but then you've got like you could cross like all right. What if you crossed what are the little ones called? The Compsognathus. You know, the ones that in the Lost World they eat that guy when there's like hundreds of them. It's like being eaten by cats.
Yeah. But that could be your zombie grunt unit, right? You need a horde of them.
There's thousands of them. Yeah.
I feel like in that case that's raptors. That has to be Velociraptors because
raptors are
they're
packs,
big,
right? They're
what
not
about
that
baby
many.
raptors?
I feel like having like
not space raptors.
The raptor warning go off, and you know that 6 raptors are now in a pack hunting.
Wait.
Oh, actually, that's pretty cool.
That feels more intense.
That's pretty cool.
But we can't abandon. You've said this a couple of times. We can't abandon the theme of dinosaurs just for the favour of. Well, no, they're space dinosaurs though, so it doesn't matter. We have to try and be solid with at least one thing.
All right. So the Compsognathus would be. Just like I think just the standard zombie, but maybe they're just larger because the problem with the Compsognathus is they're tiny. They're like chicken size.
I mean,
and
raptors
shit.
aren't that big.
What are the ones?
Hollywood.
In this, they're Hollywood raptors. They're not real raptors. They're not real feathered,
I like
boring
our
dinosaurs.
What are the
cyber
fan ones?
dino rap.
Yeah, he's on the spits.
The Dilophosaurus.
They're the ones that spit.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
jazz
yeah.
hands one.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all showbiz.
Yeah.
Look, if we're in space and they're cyber dinosaurs, they can be whatever size we want.
Oh, there's solar panels.
It's okay.
Well, I was going to say, what if they're the ones that like they fan out and then start screeching, and you have to kill them before they start luring in
Right.
loads
yeah.
of things?
Yeah,
But they just go.
But that's
Beep,
different.
beep,
No, but
beep.
that's essentially the boomer, right?
But it doesn't,
it doesn't
come
do it
for
once.
you. You
Yeah.
have to chase it down.
It lures other people. It lures
could be
other
interesting.
dinosaurs in, which I think was quite.
As for the tank, we all know what that's got to be, right?
It's
Yeah.
a hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. A space.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking? What are you going for?
Obviously T-Rex. King of the
Yeah.
dinos. You
agree
can't.
with that.
Like, I don't want any of the like the Jurassic Park 3
Oh wait, hang
bullshit
on.
onwards.
What's the dinosaur with the hammer tail?
Ankylosaurus.
Ankylosaurus is pretty cool. I
He's
imagine
pretty-
that one just swinging around, smashing shit up.
Yeah, that
I
would
think
that would be brutal.
For a charge, you should do Stegosaurus, but it rolls up into a ball, like
Oh.
ball, and then unfurls. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
"Hitcha." He does that noise. Hitcha. They can speak. They're cyborg dinosaurs.
So
Can they speak?
they
Maybe they only speak like they say like one word, and it's really ominous when you hear just thousands of them.
they chant at
Hey.
you. It's like,
hey, 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 hey.
what in that accent?
And then
Like in a-
yeah,
in a
Stegosaurus
Brooklyn.
only go, Hacha.
Cha.
So do you? So the one thing that I thought would kind of be because like the thing about the director is it's closer to what you were saying, Tom, like a DM, right?
Yeah.
Where you're not just trying
You're
to
Jeff
kill
Goldblum.
people, huh?
You're Jeff Goldblum.
You're Jeff Goldblum. That's the.
I don't know
the
why.
old
that just
guy.
came into you.
With the
know.
Amber
Yeah, sure.
Cane.
Richard Attenborough.
Oh yeah, and then when you click
his
on
name.
That's the
actions,
actor's name.
you know, like
Right.
Uh,
the unit makes Jeff Goldblum
What's
noises.
it-
Ian Malcolm is Jeff Goldblum. What's the name of the guy who owns the park in Jurassic Park? He's played by Richard Attenborough.
Hammond.
John Hammond. That's
There we go.
Hammond.
couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
that's who you are.
Sure. Okay. So
John
you're
Rex. That's who-
you are Jeff Goldblum.
Jimmy Rex.
Jimmy Rex.
Oh, Jimmy.
employed by John Hammond.
So, one question I do have.
Yeah.
We're talking about, obviously, you can place these at certain points. I'm assuming there's a start, obviously, where everyone spawns in, but what's the end goal that you're trying to stop them from getting?
You're just trying to get to the helicopter.
You're
Like,
Oh, is it
yeah.
like they're trying to escape?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of Left 4 Dead style, I suppose. Or they're trying to get to the pacification device that sends out a burst of calming energy.
EMP. They're cyborgs.
Oh, there, yeah, EMP.
Yeah.
To shut them all down.
Well, I was going to say it's like each individual. Like if we're just going Left 4 Dead, let's just do it left. So every episode is like slightly like
You have interior.
Yeah. So you could have the one that's like on the boat, and that one is just like you just have to kill them all before the boat gets to the mainland.
Oh, wait.
Uh,
Hang on. So, how big's the boat?
It's like Titanic.
And it's infested with robo dinosaurs.
Infested with robo
But
dinosaurs.
Also, that big lad
Yeah.
from
The Kraken?
World.
Oh,
What's the,
Yeah,
what's it
the
called?
Kraken.
A megalodon. Is it a
Meg.
megalodon?
Me-
is the shark.
There's a
He
Meg.
could be in
No.
there. Jason Statham could turn up.
Yeah, sure.
What's the?
Is it like Spinosaurus or something, or it's like one of the? I don't know, but yeah, but that guy. But sure, but basically, yeah. So you have different scenarios. Maybe you're on a boat. There's like the classic one is the same as the end of the first Jurassic Park. Just get to a helicopter and escape, right?
Yeah.
That's the final. And then there's a T-Rex after you, which is the tank.
That's Jurassic Park 2, right? The start of that is.
That's 2 as well.
T-Rex is on the
No,
boat breaking
two
out.
is the
Couldn't
boat.
find
The end of 2 is the boat.
Oh, the end of 2. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's when they go into. So
Spoilers.
you could have that. Spoilers.
Number 3,
Keeping with how
number
we
3
do
they go
this
back.
remotely. Hang on. I thought we were in space, or did I just get the wrong end of the stick?
No, they're just
They're future dinosaurs.
they're future dinosaurs.
But we're on.
They've
Earth.
come down from space.
They-
Well, it could be on different planets.
The chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1.
Wow.
But this time they're dinosaurs.
What if there's War of the Worlds?
Oh, actually, that could be.
Raw
well,
of the worlds.
but like in War of the Worlds, right? There's only like 3 different vehicles, right? There's obviously the tripod,
Yeah.
but then there's like the collector.
The good thing about this
Yeah.
kind of IP work is that you can kind of just make some shit up.
That's true. Tom Cruise did. Not Tom Cruise. It wasn't specifically on him.
Tom Cruise, he did it.
You fucking
Did it all.
Tom Cruise. You ruined
Did.
War of the Worlds alongside other people. And also the kid that would not stop screaming.
But
Dakota
their
Fanning,
little
I think it was.
their little vaporizer cannon thing they have feels a bit overpowered.
Heat ray?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Because then what? You're just dead automatically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it.
So what is it?
Yeah.
What?
We're not going War of the Worlds. I would love a War of the Worlds game.
It's like getting smashed off the east side of the map by the tank, right? If you get
True.
if you get hit by that, you're dead. You can't do
Yeah.
anything about it.
And it's a long range
You-
attack.
You come back in a cupboard a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like you have some kind of. All right. Okay.
What if
Yeah.
you're the Martian and the hordes of people are just the human race? And like you've got
Well, and they're just
literal
just
tanks.
running at the-
You've got planes and stuff, and you're just. This is basically Mech
Destroy all
Warrior now, but you're destroy humans, Mech Warrior.
You're just murdering
But you're
civilians.
in a Martian tripod
Yeah.
with a heat ray.
No, I like that. It's complete. It's not at all anything to do with the original.
I'm-
No,
but I
it's
really
not.
liked it.
I've still got Triceratops. He's got 3 projectiles that reload back into his horns.
Yeah.
This is
Shoots
definitely
them.
this is a Torok thing, right? This has to be.
Or Horizon,
Like,
maybe.
With what?
Horizon? Zero Dawn?
Oh yeah, maybe it is.
Oh, I forgot about that.
How
game.
did we?
Yeah.
How do we forget
There's
about
robot
the
dinos in that
conversation about
game.
One of the few
Christ.
games I've actually played.
I shouted out
I've
Dino Crisis.
Shit, so robot dinosaurs
Okay, so this is a
have
Horizon
existed
IP.
before. It's a Horizon IP now. Yeah, you're Alloy.
Aloy.
Alloy.
Okay, so
Ahoy.
Aluminum.
Robo
That's her full
Dinosaurs.
name.
It's Left 4
Like
Dead.
Liz and Elizabeth. Her full name
Alloy
is
aluminum.
It's Left 4 Dead
as
Max,
we call her.
but you have rather than like I don't know, like it's basically the same thing, but you have like scenarios. You have to hold up until you escape this area that has been overrun by robo dinosaurs for whatever reason.
Well, that's the good
You're
thing about
escaping in a
that
helicopter
franchise
or
is that you have the whole world to play with. So there are
Are you-
lots of different.
yeah,
You could have the Vegas Strip, and you have to get from one end to the other.
yeah,
You
that's
can,
true.
You know, have forests. You can have mountains. You can.
Yeah, sometimes you're getting on a
Derelict.
boat. Yeah, perhaps there are some like there's one scenario where you are on a boat and then the only things that the majority of the things you have to fight are like water based or air based, and you have to get to the mainland, and that's how you escape.
And the
One of
good
them
thing
is you have to
about
get on a helicopter.
is it does fit in with the franchise because there is an AI that controls all the robots.
Yeah, there is.
That's the whole
Yeah.
point of it. And you can just be 3 different, tribe members trying to work together.
I do like the
So
idea.
let's fucking ship it.
Amazing.
I do like that there are like if Jurassic Park was successful, there would be parks all over the world, right? So this would be like these cyber
Oh.
are everywhere around the world.
Yeah.
Mini pockets of them, and they all go crazy. So then you have your little
Okay, yeah, I'm
have your
back on Jurassic
episodes.
Park now. Yeah,
have your
yeah, okay.
episodes, but there are like smaller zoo parks, and then that's
Oh yeah, just
goal
started
is
in
to
the
like
zoo. I forgot about that.
go and get in and shut them down.
The world is populated with there are thousands of these parks all
Yeah.
over the world now because this
Well,
is
between 10 and 12, because we've got to make it a real game.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, what franchise is this in now?
So this is Jurassic Horizon.
Yes.
Zero ideas.
Park.
Horizon
Zero
Park.
ideas. No, I think the Jurassic Park thing still works because it's so much more grounded than. I just feel like okay, if it's Left 4 Dead, Jurassic
Are you
Park.
saying
But
dinosaurs
it is.
coming back because we've done
Look,
is more grounded than futuristic AI?
yeah, in my head.
Right. Okay.
But the bit that we haven't got onto yet. So okay, the idea of a Left 4 Dead game,
All of it.
where you're just fighting dinosaurs instead. Maybe they're robotic and they're we can mix and match them and whatever, and they have flamethrowers and rocket launchers or whatever. That's another thing. That's fine. We can have that. And there are different scenarios where you have to escape on a helicopter, or you have to turn like. What was that one? What was the rock concert thing in Left 4 Dead 2?
Oh yeah.
You have to do something that plays a rock concert.
I can't remember why.
I feel
you
like
do that,
they
but-
all, in some way, end with getting on a helicopter or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
But basically that. But then where does the bit that I was going to get onto next is how do we make the director thing fit in? Because I think what Tom was saying earlier about making it more of like a DM role, rather you're not just trying to kill them.
Oh no, I think you should be aiming to kill them.
You should be
That's
full on
yeah,
just trying
yeah.
to kill.
Yeah.
Actively, you want to win, and the way you win is by
But
not
how do you,
dying.
yeah, I guess so. But I'm just trying to think because like what the stuff that was really cool in Left 4 Dead is like the stuff that we were talking about, like with the big set pieces and stuff, and making sure that and like the director on that isn't trying to kill you all the time, right? It's trying to make sure you have the best experience.
That's trying to make like a heightened experience.
Yeah.
You could, I would say, if it's not like just one straight line to the level, you could have different sort of branching paths, but you can see all of them. There could be set pieces built into those,
Yeah.
and the way you like manage and deploy things could push. You're trying to push people into certain directions, right? If they go, oh, there's a branch here. Oh, there's
Yeah.
2 T-Rexes running down those 2. You're kind of gonna either instinctively go to that third one, which is all part of your plan, right?
Sure.
There should be ways that you can either not block, but try and force a decision by the players.
Yeah.
But each one might have a different set piece that they have to fulfill.
So what does this look like from that? Because I think we kind of know now what the game looks like from the perspective of the
I would say
3 people.
An RTS
right?
kind of thing.
Looks like Dota.
It's like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in.
3 lane.
Like you see a branching.
It's just a
But
different
you can see the obviously you can see the whole map. There's no like fog of war for you.
Yeah.
You could be like, okay, I'm gonna.
Or is there? What if there was?
Well, I don't think that.
What if you have to put points
If you're trying
into?
to play stuff in advance, I don't think that works.
But what? Okay, but you have to say if you have to put points into. Okay, say if it's like rundown facilities or something that have certain PowerPoint. Like maybe you spend points into. Okay, I want to activate this area of the facility, or I want to look through a security camera, and now I have vision. I have permanent vision on this area, so I can plan ahead. But in order to do that, I'm having to spend blood points or
You
whatever.
could like spend
director
charge
points.
or something, because if these are, cyber dinos,
Blood points has really sort of got quite old as a
Direct-
term quite quickly.
Yeah. But I don't know.
DNA.
Battery.
Director
Drag.
points.
Battery
D-
power,
DP.
and then it's like DP.
DP. Yeah.
Dino power.
And you can switch things on and off then. So if you're managing your resource as well, then so you're like, I want this set piece to activate. It's going to need X amount of charge.
DP.
So I'll make DP.
Yeah.
I've
X
got
amount
to
of
turn
DP.
off my T-Rex because his DP.
Yeah. And you'll just see like T-Rexes just go, brr, and you're like, what the fuck? All right.
That's
That
actually
could be
quite
quite
cool. That
interesting.
having to like micromanage different like power in different areas so that you can then like funnel them through certain areas.
I do like that idea. And then you just got reason to replay the level as well, because it's like this time I'm going to try and funnel them down this end.
Yeah.
But you can
So
also
it's
spend
all-
points to like block doors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an open. So it's almost like a sandbox area, but the sandbox is for the director. For the 3 players, it is a funneled linear experience
But
that is
they
being
don't know-
created by the director.
Yeah.
But everyone
That's
has to do
kinda
it live. I'm assuming the director doesn't get any like setup time.
Maybe they have like.
Do they have like an initial like?
Do you know, like at the beginning of a Left 4 Dead scene where the camera comes down and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not ready for this shit,"
Yeah.
and it's like 10 seconds. That's the setup
That's-
time. for
that's
the
all you
director.
get.
But you're always
Yeah.
in the safe room, aren't you? Like getting your guns ready, and that takes.
Yeah, true.
So
Yeah, you
you've
could
got
do
you've got
forever.
time.
You could do, but you could have,
takes
you could have
X.
a more varied loadout system, right?
Yeah.
Where everyone starts with nothing, and you're like, okay, go pick up the gun you want, and that time that you're taking, you could just give them 3 minutes and just,
Yeah. Then let
Just
them
throw a
run
number out.
wild.
yeah.
Um,
Is there anything left on the?
There is more,
okay.
but I was going to say
Okay.
I like the idea of the forking paths, and maybe if you block a path, you can then think like, great, this is forcing them down this route, so I'm going to place
Yeah.
a shitload of stuff down here ready for them. But then maybe the players get to the fork and they're like, no, I'm actually going to try and fight my way through this blockage or whatever, and bypass that planned assault that you've made.
Classic
I
DM
like,
role then. It's like I
Yeah.
didn't plan for this. What are you doing?
So it's just empty.
yeah.
Hugo Troito's idea of spending overcharge to buff, or spending charge to buff units. So rather than like say,
Oh my God, Hugo Troito is here.
Yeah, he is. He did say earlier, the power of the past with the technology of the future, robo dinosaurs.
oh,
It's pretty good, right?
It's actually a pretty
Yeah.
good tagline.
and then
All right.
underneath, get T-Wrecked.
Get
so we have-
T-wrecked. Yeah.
T-Wrecked.
It's rawsome.
It's awesome. We've got so many taglines.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow. Amazing.
Sick.
Anyway, so there is some more from your boy Joseph. They say killing a player rewards the GM with some kind of card choice.
Boo. No, it's fine. Go on.
Players also gain cards based off of checkpoints. However, their cards are typically negative and will help the GM slightly from less max health to ammo capacity, etc. So as the game goes on, it gets harder, which is cool. I like that. Maybe,
Yeah.
if 3
Sounds
people
good.
get through, they get a card choice each, then it's going to be 3 times as hard as if only one person got through.
In terms of DM cards, are there any examples? Because if not, you could earn like fuses, right? So it just unlocks more power.
Yeah.
Just or the ability to hold more power to then use up. Right. So every time you get a kill, they drop something that you can automatically just give you a buff to your total level of power that you can hold and therefore spend.
Maybe you, as the GM, hold the card that lets you place a survivor back into a respawnable location at the but it also rewards you with loads of stuff. So
You have to give
it's like
them
a tough
crystal.
choice you have to make of like, can I finish off the other 2 before the level ends? If not, I want to grab a shit ton of blood points or fuses or DP or whatever. However, I'm going to be putting a person back in, ready to be pulled out of the locker.
Wait, so you can
whatever it is.
So you're saying you can basically spawn or place down like a hero closet? One of
I guess, yeah. It will. You basically just say like, "Yep, I'm just going to throw this guy back into the world," and it puts him in a appropriate location.
Okay.
But the players should be able to as well. So like, it's that decision of, do I do this now, or I can benefit from this?
Yeah.
But they could get it done before you want to place it. Therefore, you've lost out on that. I'll spawn them earlier, or rather than I'll make them wait.
Maybe they appear in the map regardless.
Right. Okay.
The heroes can go to the closet and it'll take 30 seconds to respawn them. But if the GM chooses to do it, they get a load of blood points, but it reduces the amount of time it takes to get them out or something like that.
I was about to say maybe they could, if their friend dies, maybe it's that they have to take them to a medical facility on the station. But it's like, but it
and they have to perform a full surgery.
Yeah, it's like the one. What was one of the first episodes we did, like in person? Actually, I think it was the Rams one. You know, with the mine and the dwarves. And then if one of you died, you would chain.
You would chain to them forever. Yeah.
So you just had to. You had to carry on with it.
Mines of Molyneux.
Mines of Molyneux. That was yeah.
We still haven't had Peter Molyneux on as a guest. This would have been the perfect opportunity.
Right.
He's on.
If you're
unhinged.
Sure, yeah.
Hey, Pete.
If you're watching, I'm
Hey, Pete.
certain you are, Pete. Please, come vape with us.
Anyway, there's more. When a player dies, this is the last bit. When a player dies, they transform into a zombie themselves, and for a short period of time, the GM can take over. Dinosaur, sorry.
I could just imagine someone going. just transforming Animorph style into like a T-Rex.
A robot bursts out of them. And for a short period of time, the GM can take over the body into first-person mode.
Okay.
What?
Sure.
Wait,
I mean, you can manually control a special zombie
Some
slash
RTS
dinosaur in this case.
Okay.
Do that, right?
Yeah. Totally accurate battle simulator lets you do it.
Yeah, that or there's a VR one that lets you do it.
Of course there is.
Always is, which is I can't remember the name of it.
I don't know if I like that. Like any kind of RTS style game where it has a mechanic of like going into something.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, that's in Jurassic World 2.
Oh, you drive the Jeep around.
Yeah, and it's like
to trank the dinos.
They've put a lot of work into it, and it looks great, but it still always just looks great for an RTS. And then like it's like, okay, I'm driving around. The driving is kind of, I
mean, the benefit of this one is that it already exists as a first-person game, but for the other players. So
yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
It's not an add-on mechanic that we've had to be like, oh, we'll just
but then you do have to figure out how you can control a dinosaur.
He's just left click and he goes.
Yeah.
That gives me a little bit of do you remember that really old I think it was like on the PC. I don't think it was even on consoles. One of the first Alien vs Predator games.
Yeah.
It was like a first-person game, super old, and that was really, really cool when you got to play as the alien.
Yeah, because they're different. And then you got to play as Predator as well, right?
You got to play as Predator as well. Yeah.
Obviously, everyone had
like
different visual style.
Alien
was green, and the Predator was the classic
yellow in
the
my
classic
yellow in my
like heat vision.
Yeah. That was incredible. God, what a game. Yeah, it would be like that, like going into the different dinosaurs, maybe.
Yeah. The T-Rex, as everyone stands still, they just disappear. Because obviously their vision is based off movement.
Oh, yeah.
That is actually really good.
Like,
They
T-Rex
could be the witch. The witch is literally like spooked by movement and sound, right?
Oh shit!
So you go around a corner
right.
and there's a giant T-Rex curled up in the corner.
Are you telling me that Left 4 Dead just copied dinosaurs?
I think so.
Bastards.
I think they did.
Damn you, Gabe.
Ahead of the curve again.
Yeah.
What are we going?
Dinosaurs were ahead of the curve.
And that's the end of the pitch, by the way. So what was the game? T-Rex.
No,
T-Rex. Yeah.
Future with the technology of the past. The opposite of that.
What have we actually come to after this? Like, you know what? We've talked about this longer than I thought we would.
This is actually a full episode
impressed.
at this point, and we were planning for another 2 pitches after this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Can you give us a rundown of what the game is at this point?
T-Rex. Future Tech Power Past is I want to say a Left 4 Dead game, but we don't actually know the name of that sort of genre of game.
Left 4 Dead. It's fine.
Left 4 Dead like. It's just like Stardew fucking Valley. So it's like Left 4 Dead.
But with guns?
The survivors, survivors, the people who are escaping the robo-dinosaur horde who came from Mars,
Yeah.
are trying to get to the EMP at the end of the scenario.
Yeah.
In one of them, we're on the Titanic.
There's an EMP on the actual Titanic
Yeah.
in 1912.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like it's like the dinosaurs. It's come back.
Yeah. There's
Sure.
there's time fluctuation. It's like time splitters now.
Okay. Yeah.
The Titanic has come back. A dinosaur came back at the same time as Terminator, and that's why there's robot dinosaurs.
Okay.
Right.
And at the same time as a rabbit, so they started breeding like really quick.
Nice.
They did a
Wait. So
fly
they had
that,
Yeah.
like,
They
the
fused.
dinosaur and Terminator.
Rabbit combo.
Right. I see. Okay.
That's how they.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be a frog? Because that's what they use in Jurassic Park. Frog DNA.
Yeah, but
Also, they're all women dinosaurs?
I just wanted a scene at the start of the game that's like really serious, where you're seeing a robot
right.
come in, and then a
Sorry,
dinosaur
come in where?
comes through, and then a dinosaur appears inside that thing, and then just a rabbit on the side, and then you see like there's a voiceover that's like humanity's doomed.
It's more
We don't have long left, and you're watching just loads of dino, Terminator, rabbit.
It's got like the
stuff
Ron Perlman voiceover, like
Yeah.
from
War.
Fallout. Yeah.
War never changed.
Dinos. Dinos never change.
These dinos did change though.
But they're movie rules. So the raptors are movie rules size.
yeah,
Yeah.
T-Rexes
full on,
can't see
totally.
unless you move.
yeah.
Do they have feathers? Are we going...
No,
it's too difficult.
no,
That's a lot of polys to
Yeah,
render.
yeah.
This
They're
has
also
become an
metal
incredibly
plate.
long, like quick summary of the
Sorry,
game.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot.
This Left 4 Dead
Dinosaurs,
like
done.
zombies survival game has turned into a Jurassic Park from the future robot mech dino crisis, where you're trying to reach the EMP with your team of 2 other friends in this first-person survival action shooter. But watch out, your 4th friend, he's controlling
Them.
the AI.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Spawning
Rex.
in, Jimmy Rex is up there, spawning in robots, spawning in more robots, setting off
All kinds of robots.
setting off events and scenarios that can hinder your team from progressing to that EMP and stopping his evil reign. Also, there's cards.
Oh yeah, the
I
card,
forgot. Completely
Cards.
forgot about that.
You spawn more units based on the damage you've done to the players. That's how you play T-Rex,
I love it.
T-Rex.
god of the robo dinos.
I actually really like the whole director side of it, and what we were talking about with like having to funnel people around essentially like an open experience, and you're limited by like the amount of director points or whatever you have. Actually, sounds really cool.
Yeah, I
I-
think it could be cool.
I don't know if I would enjoy like the other side of it. Feels a little bit like why wouldn't I just play Left 4 Dead? But I guess you have that
That's
feeling of
zombies.
like if you know you're playing against a person who is actively
It's Dead by Daylight. It's got the same sort of fascination as Dead by Daylight.
yeah
You can also join
Death
as a
by
team
Dino.
of 3, and there's a random guy that you've just matched up with
yeah.
who is obviously getting more XP because he's the only person playing the monster.
It gives me a little bit like it's not exactly, but do you remember that game that was that failed Left 4 Dead like that
4 Blood?
was no before that in between it was
Evolve.
Evolve yeah which I actually quite
I
liked.
liked it. Yeah.
They tried to make like an esport out of it. I think that was why it
did they?
failed. Yeah
Oh, I mean, it was also
Um,
a fully priced game for not a huge amount.
yeah.
But I liked it. Yeah, it was cool.
But that was kind of cool. But that was there wasn't any director or anything. It was just that was kind of almost in between Left 4 Dead and what this is, where you just
the
have
first
like
Dead by Daylight. It was even before that, wasn't it? Dead by Daylight.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, but this time you can control T-Rex, Robo
Yeah.
T-Rex with lasers and flamethrowers
Yeah, for a very short amount of time.
for like 3 seconds tops.
Yeah, they've put a lot of work into
And
it.
most of that 3 seconds is the animation of you plugging into the T-Rex.
Yeah, you get like it has the camera move down.
I'm not sure I
go
like
into
that.
his
from,
head.
Is that a phrase?
Oh god, what game was that where you jump around in a Titanfall?
Titanfall, yeah.
Yeah, there's that. But then and then you disconnect from it.
Yeah,
You're back in the
Yeah.
director.
poorly made.
On the side of this, though, a Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors.
Dynasty Warriors style game, but there's also Mech Warrior, where you're controlling a Martian tripod that has to wipe out the human race.
Yeah.
Fuck
There's something
me,
there
that'd be
about
so good.
that as
Imagine
well.
that with the soundtrack as well, the musical. Jeff.
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum.
Wait, what's it?
Jerry
Jeff Wayne.
Jeff Wayne.
Jeff Wayne soundtrack over the top. That'd be. Oh my god.
There was a
And the big.
No, has anyone made a
there was
War of the Worlds game?
Yeah, there was an
Recently?
What was
Was
this
it?
based? Was this based on H.G. Wells or was this based on the musical?
Or the Tom Cruise.
I mean, I didn't play it. but
Tom Cruise
I
film,
think,
yeah. Was there?
yeah, maybe.
Really?
War of the
Well,
Worlds.
let him
yeah.
search.
All right, yeah. Okay, while Tom's
you continue
searching,
the-
Chris, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I like
Get wrecked.
it. I like it. Get
Get wrecked. Yeah, that's what it's called now.
no, I like the director side. I like the like going into a map, like a sandbox style map, and being directed around.
Yeah.
That's fun. Tom, what did you point at the screen for, Tom?
Sorry, apparently they made an RTS based on the music, according to Just
shut
Smith,
up.
just underscore Smith. And also, oh my god, Flip Switch Games, War of the Worlds coming soon.
Oh wait,
What?
coming
Wait,
soon.
actually,
What's the genre of that?
It's a action FPS survival horror.
Oh fuck!
Okay.
At least it's not dinosaurs.
Actually-
Hang on, I've just watched the trailer.
It looks bad. Okay.
Well,
All right, maybe don't watch the
online
trailer.
co-op. Oh
Okay.
my god.
He's back on again now. James, is this ticking your boxes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love it. The director side's really interesting, and like whether or not it's all open or not, I feel like you could add another layer by having like the CCTV cameras or things like that, or you can see through
Yeah,
the
yeah.
eyes. I think there's more to play with there, or you could just leave it open. I think it's totally cool. I love it. Love the idea. Let's go.
I think there's something about like
You say that every time. Let's make it.
not being able to actually having moments almost where you like if you're having to manage power systems and stuff.
Yeah.
Perhaps not constantly having an idea of where the players are at any one time. Like maybe at some points you get full vision of them. At some points you maybe only get like, okay, I know they're in this area, this zone, or I know they're in this room. But then at some points like you have to, which basically allows them to kind of like scupper your plans.
Exactly. And you could use your DP for like motion detection or other sensors, and that would be a resource then, wouldn't it? Like
Yeah,
you're trying to
yeah,
manage
exactly.
Those things.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's cool.
All right, so
Use my DP how I damn well want.
T-Rect. Thanks, Joseph,
Yeah.
for giving us a game.
Great
that we've
pitch.
then
Thank you.
Then
And
turned
remember,
into gold.
just a little bit more artistic talent.
Yeah.
He says that he would make this game. Well, not this one, his one.
yeah,
Here's one.
all right.
But still.
Probably
You're not,
no
allowed to make,
dinosaurs.
you're not allowed to make that.
But also, we did get a message that said, check out an old Half-Life 2 mod called Zombie Master. It's got a sort of co-op versus a player director you're talking about.
All right, cool. So that existed 20
So
years
there
ago.
you go, that exists.
There you go.
Nice.
In the form of a Half-Life 2
Making
mod.
the last 50 minutes of our conversation pointless.
Absolutely redundant.
Thanks for saying that
Which
now.
is normally what happens anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always afterwards.
There's always someone that comes in and says, oh, have you played Endless Dungeon? That's literally this game.
Hey, did you play that really obscure thing from 20 years ago on the
Yeah.
Amiga? I'm like, no, I think I was about to say I wasn't.
Oh,
I wasn't
existed,
born
you
then.
idiot.
But
Well,
I am
that's
28.
what happened with Battle Bits or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I pitched someone's like, have you played that Game Boy Advance game?
yeah,
Which is
Battle
exactly
Bits, yeah.
this. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, God,
No, I
this
haven't.
game is Globduel.
All right, look, this
Globduel? It was on the Amiga. It was a great game. It was like a platformer, but you were just goo.
would
That sounds cool.
normally be the point where we start doing like little links and things and getting people to
No,
follow us. And
not
stuff.
today. This is a bumper episode.
Not today.
Bitch.
So this, wow, that's so aggressive. It took me
Sorry.
back.
I
However,
need to keep my energy up.
this time we've
I'd
got
normally
another.
be asleep by now.
Genuinely, while you were out just before this started, James was outside in the kitchen. I saw him slap himself in the face a couple of times to wake
What?
himself up. Yeah,
Oh my
It's been a
God.
Yeah.
long week of game dev. I
it's
know
not a long
Monday.
day. We don't usually record this late. My
true.
voice is going. I'm trying so hard not to break into a coughing
Hey,
fit.
do you want me to?
It's killing me.
You want me to take control for a bit?
Yes.
You want me to take the reins?
Can you just take it for me?
Take it. I'll
You've got a
good
pitch, right?
maybe.
We've got another pitch.
I'll carry your load for a bit. Yeah,
Thank you.
just give me your load.
Okay.
So yeah,
So-
there is another pitch waiting for us in the wings, but this
So
time
excited about this.
it's one of our favorites. It's a listener voice pitch.
Love these.
So a recording has been sent in to us. I say a recording. What I actually mean is how I normally do this.
Oh, it's
My phone's ringing. Ooh.
Oh.
Who's
How seamless
that
is this going to be?
on the phone?
Hello.
Got seamless.
Long-time listener, first-time pitcher, and I am giving you a bit of a curveball today. Instead of me giving you a mechanic and having you all base the game off of that, how about I provide a theme? What would a solarpunk game look like in lieu of a post-cyberpunk 2077 world? I would want to see what you all could create with this sort of theme. Solarpunk is kind of a genre that you don't really see often in video games, and I wanted to see what you all can do with it. So yeah, good luck.
Okay, so super short. This is like 30-second pitch. However,
But it's a voice pitch, which makes it infinitely better than the previous one.
yeah. Sorry, Joseph, you're out. I mean, we put this in because we were like, okay, the first pitch is going to take us a while to chat about. Let's do something afterwards that might not take as long. But
Wow.
Solarpunk.
Sell it.
Solarpunk is. Do you have the definition of solarpunk now? What is it?
Just from the top of the dome, I think
Yeah?
solarpunk is a literary and artistic movement that envisions and works towards actualizing a sustainable future interconnected with nature and community.
It's incredible that you just knew that.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just, I know that the solar represents solar energy as a renewable energy source and an optimistic vision of the future that rejects nihilism and climate doomerism, while the punk refers to the countercultural, post-capitalist and decolonial enthusiasm for creating such a future.
It's weird when you describe stuff. It sounds like you're reading.
Does it?
Just the cadence of the...
It's just the way he talks.
I stumble
Just
over my
noticed it.
brain palace sometimes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
I keep leaving trash around in my brain palace.
So we listened to this a little bit. Well, we listened to it at least once before we started. Well, Tom and I did. You guys haven't heard this before.
Yeah, so this is what prep looks like.
Dump us in your non-prep.
But the reason we put it in is because Tom and I both saw something a couple of weeks ago that blew our minds. That I feel like maybe I can't remember if we've talked about this before. We've definitely not talked about it on the podcast, but
Great.
it gave us an idea of
That's perfect
maybe
for a new
direction
recording
to
then,
go.
isn't it?
Have you ever heard of The Line?
Yeah.
The Line.
By
Yes.
Neom. That's the people making
Yes.
it. Neom.
Okay, you've heard. Okay, so
Yeah,
can you
is that-
describe?
I've
Is that what they call
watched
Neom?
way too many documentaries.
Okay.
Slash
Tell us
engine-
about
James,
know what
do you know
it
what
is,
it is?
though? Yeah, yeah.
You know what-
The-
can you describe it for us?
Well, it's a long line in the desert, essentially. It's also mirrored. It's about 500 meters tall, and I think 100.
Okay,
20
you've
kilometers
missed
long?
the key.
Yeah,
the key point there is
have
that it's a city.
Started about halfway through what it
Oh yeah, I
actually
didn't even specify.
Got
it's a
mirrors.
city.
It's a line in a desert, is what you start.
Okay,
with.
it's I think 120 kilometers long city,
City, yeah.
500 meters high. I don't know how wide, but it's all interconnected. No cars, so it's
I think it was
all-
like 2 kilometers wide or something like that. Or
Probably.
maybe
Something-
like,
something
I thought
dumb.
it was
Yeah.
much. Maybe.
or maybe thinner. Maybe thinner. It might be.
I feel like the
Um,
concepts I saw were like you could almost do that. I mean, you
What
can't.
you could put your arm.
It feels like
There's no way. It's
Just
not like
an
what, like a
arm set up.
train cable car sort of thing.
no.
well, okay, like
It's-
two
it's-
houses. Then it's not. That
No, it's
Two
quite wide.
houses.
Yeah.
It's quite wide.
is it?
Yeah, they've got like a 3. Well, so everything is done. All transport is done underneath. So you've got trains going all the way along. Then you've got like service trains, as well as like robotic roadways underneath for deliveries and stuff. Everything is meant to be within a 5-minute walk of where you are.
Yeah.
They're like these sort of like micro villages spread out
That's
over
it,
and
yeah,
over
you
again,
never
right?
need to
You never
go
need to go-
anywhere for, like,
But if
further
you
than
do,
5 minutes.
Here's a very fast train to get
The
you there.
transport from one end to the other is 20 minutes.
Yes.
Right? So the entire length of it you can travel in 20 minutes.
But it's also mirrored on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
has no brakes in it.
Burns all local wildlife.
It basically would cause a lot of. I mean, there's not much wildlife in terms of flora in the desert, at least. But a camel might like bump into it trying to get by, and it has to go 120 kilometers to get around.
Can you imagine the amount of birds that are just going to smash into it?
there we go.
A year
Yeah.
later, it's just going to be smeared with dead birds.
Yeah. But this is almost,
They have started construction.
and it's almost a self-sufficient,
Yeah, it's meant to be.
fully
Yeah.
eco-powered solar panels, whatever other green.
Yeah, it's
wind
meant to have
power.
like a zero carbon footprint, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like the whole concept just seems unbelievable.
The pictures
seems like
of
an
it
April
are-
Fool's or something.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
They're-
almost as if they're renders
I know. Well, they are, but like
to try and sell a concept.
But also, it's something that is being constructed, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think
Like-
they're doing the first like. Kilometre
they
of
have
it.
drone footage of them like digging out
Yeah.
the holes,
The
like the
line.
base for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I feel like we should know about, right?
Yeah, I know. This is what it looks like. Something that would exist. It looks like a level in a hub in Deus Ex.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of also is that they do have.
Yeah, but
Remind-
the story of that game doesn't particularly end well.
I know. That's why it's such
That's
an
what we're going
absurd
towards.
Yeah, this is going to end well.
But like, I just suddenly had a thought, an image in my head of the Expanse. Where the fucking gruff detective guy starts.
Oh,
the space station
yeah.
is
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of like Mass Effect
Yeah.
as well, like that.
Not
sort of-
Ganymede, is it? Is that the one?
No, it's
I-
not. It's
but
not.
that was
Ganymede.
kind of. I think the Mass Effect Citadel was the same sort of thing, where it was on the
Right,
inside of a donut, basically.
There's a
And
word for that, isn't there? For that kind of like it's a sci-fi
Halo.
concept.
No, and it's going to annoy because I know that word and I've just forgotten it. But it's the fact that it's so large that as it spins, it creates its own artificial
Yeah.
centrifugal with its
Thingamabob.
gravity.
There's actually a shot of one also at the end of Interstellar.
Yes, which is what they're on. But it's like in Space Odyssey, the size of it means that his head would have different gravity from his feet because it needs to be so much bigger.
Oh, right.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's like
But that was not obviously that's in space, but
Yeah.
that's a similar sort of thing where it's if you're on one side and someone's on the polar opposite side, you have to go in a straight line all the way around to get to them.
Now you've described it as Citadel. I'm back in. I'm on board.
I
I
mean-
like it now.
But hang on, what I'm describing to you is a real thing that isn't the Citadel. This is the line by Newm.
But if it was, but if it was like a nice, because the way I was imagining it
It's a
was
nice line.
just basically like a dystopian nightmare, which I think it probably will end up being. But if it was nice and bright and lovely,
But-
like the Citadel,
I mean, that's solar punk, right? Like, I think that's
that's
the point
true.
of it.
Yeah,
It's-
okay, this is what we need to.
It's eco green that's gone beyond that point.
Yeah.
Everyone's vegan.
Where would you want to be on the line? Would you want to be in the middle of the line?
You'd want to
Would
be in
you
the middle,
wanna
100%.
outside?
I think the middle of the line
But
would
what
be
about
the
height?
richest area because it would take less time to get everywhere.
Yeah.
What about, this is a Romeo and Juliet love
Darkest.
story, you're on one side of the line, your love is on the other side.
so they're 20 minutes away.
That's 20
By
minutes.
a train.
Yeah.
But there's no, weird, the trains are down. So it,
But that if that happened, the whole city basically shuts down.
Really?
That's the whole point, right? Is
Right.
that
But-
there's
and-
no
yeah.
cars.
True.
Everything relies on this transport system.
Hmm.
If that shuts down, like
To walk. Ugh.
yeah. But what if it was
yeah,
in this
but it's a
instance-
you'd be,
Uh-huh.
it's not like you can just
Get a
walk
bike?
you could bike. It's 120 kilometers.
You're seeing it as like there's a story. I was imagining it as like a city builder.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like you're just starting from
Very
like
specific.
You're basically just building the line,
Right.
but a city, and it's that
The line they're
Like,
building the
I-
game.
But I don't know how you would then integrate like
By Nyum.
Sponsored by things.
the solar punk stuff into it. Like there's an element of it's not because in City Skylines and other city builders, there isn't really emphasis on like that eco side of things.
There is
much.
in the SimCity future. Well, I can't remember what it's called. Like Cities of Tomorrow.
Okay.
They had that entire. So they had solar, and they had. Well, obviously the base city SimCity has solar.
Yeah.
But they have that TechNet stuff where you need to like you produced TechNet, and you can do that. And there's also like the sort of more Judge Dredd like style buildings you can have, but they run on a different
Right,
resource.
yeah.
But it means that's more pollutant. And the other one's more clean but costs more, and you can build certain types of cities. And the other one, I can't remember the name of the actual resource, but there are two types of resource.
I wonder if like
It affects how things look.
But you could also like decide where, because in this, like we were talking about, there are different. Each level has a different function, right? There's like the commercial sector, and then
Yeah, it's like a
the-
shopping mall.
Yeah, and then underneath there's like
120
the.
kilometer.
But then could you also say like if you were building your own, for example, you could decide where the residential sectors are going to go. So you could have like vertical residential sectors. So you could be like the people at the top get the sunlight. So they
Right.
so
What a
that's really
Horrible
expensive
dystopian future.
stuff. That's a really.
Sunlight, pay for it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it's going. I feel that's what's going to happen.
Come on.
Would it get smoggy? There's no fumes.
You're in the desert.
It's still they'll have windows on the side, like it'll open up and they'll see out into the desert.
Okay, what if
Yeah, but
there's
it's a mirrored surface. Is that not going
They'll
to
figure
have
it
to
out.
be
And
flush?
it'll be like a-
No, but is that not going to have to just
Yeah.
not be openable because of that?
No, yeah, they won't be able to open it.
Oh, right. So you just
Yeah,
look
yeah.
outside.
It's
Just look
sliding.
outside. Yeah. Have like
But
shutters.
also, you're forgetting that if you leave your line, you're just in the middle of the fucking desert.
Well, this is it. What if, I don't know, catastrophe happens in the rest of the world
Yeah.
and the line is cut off from everything? Is that when
well, the
game
line
picks
could
up?
theoretically be the only survivors of this catastrophic event, right?
Does
Because
it?
they're self-sustainable.
What about
yeah.
farming? What about food? Where does that all come from?
You could. I
Inside
mean, you
the
could
line.
set up like.
Like
you could
high?
set-
Got cows up in the ceiling?
you could-
'Cause they
this
need
is the
light?
solar
You could set up hydroponics. It could
dream
be,
we need to create.
Solar punk's more like, oh, we grow all beef in a lab.
Yeah,
Right,
You're at that
okay,
point.
fair.
it's a from the top of the dome. It addresses how the future might look if humanity succeeded in solving major contemporary challenges with an emphasis on sustainability, human impact on the environment, and addressing climate change and pollution.
So
I love how
idea
there's a
that-
portion of the audience this clearly doesn't work for because you're currently being live streamed on video.
Well, reading
and they
it.
can just see.
No, he's just
He's
staring at his own face.
oh, it's
Yeah.
For
right,
encouragement.
That's how I remember. I've got it written on the outside of my glasses.
Right. Yeah.
So what I said before about cows needing sunlight, by the way, that was just nuts.
There's
Don't
no
worry about
cows.
that. But if they're plant-based cows, then it's okay.
No,
They
no.
need sun.
No, everyone's vegan.
Everyone's
And also,
Because
hydroponics.
that's how you. I guess
exists.
one big way of solving climate change, right? No
Yeah.
meat production.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Easy.
And you can also I mean, one of the end of the line goes into is on the coast. So I mean, it's
Oh, does it?
salt water, but you could desalinate
the
that
vacuum
pretty
all the
easily.
fishing.
I mean, fish you can just grow it.
There's a really big Henry Hoover on one end.
Yeah.
It's just sucking up the ocean.
Right. I mean, everyone eats tablets. Right?
Oh, imagine having to clean
I
up
don't think it's Soylent.
because it doesn't take up. That
Are we
much
doing
room.
Soylent Green and oh, here's your vitamin tablet for the day because
get,
you don't get sunlight anymore because you're poor and you live at the bottom.
Logan's Run? Is that where they have tablets of food? Or am I just imagining that?
I can't remember. It's been
But
so
you
long.
can't live past
It's
25
Willy Wonka.
because there's not enough space.
The everlasting gobstopper.
You get thrown out into the desert to fend for yourself. Like space is going to be such a
For some reason,
build more line, and you just keep going in the line.
Yeah.
to beat yourself back. And
maybe it's just the nature of a line and civilization living amongst that, and also the outside being inhospitable for whatever reason. For some reason, all I can think of is, and I've forgotten the name, Snowpiercer. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
So,
yeah, okay.
You know, and obviously in Snowpiercer, the front of the train are all rich and affluent and
Yeah.
live without care and worries. The back of the train are all the stowaways that shouldn't have ever been on there in the first place, who live miserable, grim, horrible lives in the smoggy, dark engine room.
I w-
where I
And
wanna
they
be.
fight to take over the train.
I watched the series recently, and it's the best thing I've seen in a long time.
What's Snowpiercer?
What do
Yeah,
you mean,
the
worth
series,
it?
the series is awful,
What?
but
Really?
it's great.
I like
It's so
it.
compelling, but it's so badly acted and made. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's great. I love the concept of it though,
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
and that is also in a line. So
exactly. But maybe there's a story, like you were saying, like the people in the lowlanders.
But
they,
The Lowlanders.
they
Just
can't
the
get
lo-
oxygen,
this is meant to be
oxygen.
where humans have solved all
No,
problems.
well, no,
right?
that's the aim, right? So I think what could be cool about it is that you have, because so with a city builder normally, you're thinking like on the macro level, right? You're not
Sure.
There's not like a lot of individual management going on. I think with this, you have a very limited space, and you're having to really think about every single district you create.
Oh, like XCOM.
It's like
When you're putting down buildings in the base.
yeah.
but in a line.
and there's cars.
It's linear.
But yeah, like with each section, so you have like the agriculture. Maybe you have an agriculture section. I don't know, but the idea of like, having these
Hydroponics.
having these sections where you kind of then individually craft I guess the bit, like I'm almost thinking it
This
of
is
it
RimWorld.
in terms of maybe
But in a line.
it is like RimWorld, but like
Line.
without I'm
Can
not
it be from
thinking
the
of
side as well? You could easily just present it from a side view.
I'm thinking of it
Like
like
for
larger than
shelter
that. So
or
you'll
something?
still have, because like what is the population of the line? It's meant to be like
None currently.
there's going to be
A
like
camel and a man.
500,000, probably over 1 million people or something in there, right? It's going to be it's going to be
I'm
big.
And I'm going to be one of them.
But
They won't let you in.
They'll let me in.
No.
Why?
I think there's like a barrier to entry.
Who?
Just fucking just the idea of you standing in the desert, just being like, "Don't you fucking know who I am?"
I'm looking at a reflection of myself. Let me the
You've not
let
drank.
me in.
You've not drunk any water for
Burning
days.
your hand on the. I think that there's something there about like I really like the idea of having to. Maybe this is almost Fallout Shelter. I can't think how it. But
Fallout
maybe
Shelter is a
maybe
good
it is
one.
XCOM. But like being able to zoom into these individual sections, and be like, okay, I'm going into hydroponics. Like each section you are individually managing. It has its own like mechanics. I know that's easy enough to say.
Yeah.
But you jump in and you'd be like, okay, now I'm doing all the hydroponic stuff, and now I'm going to jump out and look at the civilian sector and figure out how to increase quality of life for them. Now I'm going to sort out the commercial stuff, and it's like there's a lot more like intense focus on each individual element of it.
Yeah, I like the Fallout Shelter comparison because that's put like a good representation in my head.
I think you could have a lot of fun with this and start off really optimistic, which is what the line kind of is. It's going to be great. But then what does happen if you do get cut off and your resources really are suddenly space is tight? We can't have any more. You got to have the options for like being shit, basically.
I feel like that is that's inevitable, because like the dream to get there, to make this perfect solar punk city should almost be unachievable, right? Unless you really nail it, like or very difficult to sustain.
Yeah.
You want to pull in some whales, right? To use a marketing, you want to pull in some big spenders.
I thought you meant with the vacuum.
Like
the
you want
plugs, the tubes, the big
the people who are rich and live there.
Yeah.
What are going to expect a certain level of amenities and
You're right.
So
If
If they leave,
again,
that's
and perhaps also you need to begin with, you might need to seek investment from some of these people. So you seek investment from like these really large companies who are going to send their employees over. So they expect they have certain requirements, but then there might also be some other people who are like,
also corporations.
We're not going to live in this city if it's actually partly funded by like all of these like crazy oil barons and stuff who are also going to live here.
It's in. Do you know where it's based?
It's in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
And they don't really have many exports.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
the barons would.
Are you looking at Saudi Arabia's
if the ruffians, I guess,
Yeah.
How do you build that without there being immediate separation?
Disparity.
This is Frostpunk, but in a line.
Yeah.
How does Frostpunk work? Because I don't know it.
Instead of a line, it's more this circular shape.
I think there's a central like generator thing,
Right.
and then you build outwards from that. Yeah, this is Frostpunk.
Oh fuck.
But what's
what's the solar? What's the solar punk element of it?
Well, it's not
We
called
still haven't
Frostpunk. It's
gotten
called
that for
Solar
this.
Punk.
Yeah,
Right,
we
I see
kind
the
of
name.
we
Literally just the name,
should have got that from the word solar punk.
Yeah.
Very close.
It was right there.
It was
It was.
But I was going to say,
Yeah.
the line by Noom is not the only one. I think you shared this with me before, Alex. There's one that's being, so the line is in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But there is an architectural plan made for a giant ring to be built in Dubai.
Yeah, I know about that one.
That's a floating as tall as the tallest building in Dubai, and it is
Which is quite tall.
very tall, and it is just a floating ring around the entirety.
Floating?
Well,
What?
it's going to be connected somewhere, but visually, it's nuts.
So it's Halo.
So it's kind of, but it's just they put a ring on it. Like it's just a giant ring. I can't show the picture for the podcast,
Put a
but
ring
there you
on
go.
Dubai.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So imagine a ring city on struts. That's why it's floating.
Imagine living on an
There are
oil
supports.
rig,
Some of this
but
stuff.
it's nice.
Wow, Tom.
it's the beginning of Midgar, is what it is.
Right. Okay.
Just without the plates in between.
So I think the
that's
opening to
the
this
problem
game
with all
is
of these.
choose your shape, right? And
Right,
you go,
yeah.
well, I'm going to try a pentagon today.
But then
Yeah,
you
that
get
works.
demons coming out.
And you're like, well, I'm going to put each side is going to be a district, okay? And then
Right, I
you
see,
can
I
do
see.
it that way. A line's a bit harder. I think maybe that's the difficulty.
Yeah.
Literally, it's a difficulty curve by how
Oh.
curved it becomes.
Maybe when you create your level, you can just scribble in a shape, and that's the shape that it appears.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of dicks.
There's gonna be a lot of dick. But imagine the first self-sufficient dick city.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Oh my god! And you know where the exports go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Solarpunk, Frostpunk 3.
So
There is a
Solarpunk.
Frostpunk 2 already.
Have we actually? So is
The
Solarpunk
storage is the
basically
ball.
just Frostpunk but in a line? Is that what it is? I don't know Frostpunk well enough to know if that's
I don't know
basically
Frostpunk well,
the game.
but I think taking essentially you are removing certain elements from a regular city builder, where City Skylines, for example, you have to worry about transport and traffic and things like that. It's not an issue in this one because A to B is literally everyone's route, but you can then use that to fully examine. Like, it takes a lot of people a long time to get from their residential to their work because they're in the wrong ends of the city or whatever else. Maybe the less educated people are far away from the less educated
They're in the
jobs.
corner. Yeah.
But you have to then...
The goal is to avoid that, though.
Yeah.
Right?
So they just live
and
lower down.
They live lower down, but I mean, with the synergies
give
of,
them
the,
vitamin D
of the
every day.
constructions nearby, ensure that those problems don't occur. The rich are not rubbing shoulders with the poor. You simply can't have that.
Well, they only would if they went to visit a restaurant or a shop, because clearly they're not working there.
Well, no. They're only being served by them.
Yeah.
And the people serving them are obviously extremely pale because they haven't had sunlight.
They're like golems.
Yeah.
Just massive eyes and really pale skin.
But the rich they're sunburned because they're too close to the top.
It's like, what's that film?
It's actually just a nightmare. It's
yeah.
just fucking
What's
horrible.
the film with Matt Damon in it?
Elysium.
Yeah. It's like that.
That was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is what's so weird about it. There are so many examples in science fiction
Where it all
of
goes
cities
What, utopias?
that are built, of dystopian cities that are built vertically like that. So
Right.
the idea that this is what they're doing just sounds insane to me. Like,
Yeah, no one at any point ever thought it's too difficult to build high. Let's just build wide.
Well, it's a skyscraper, but it fell over, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't have to put out. It's still 500 meters tall
yeah.
and made of
fair.
mirrors.
The thing is, like, it reminds me. Okay, there are a couple of problems I have. So the game itself at the moment.
Oh, yeah, the
don't-
game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
welcome
how
to our
it's-
architecture podcast.
The gaming podcast.
Blueprints, please.
I don't know how it differs from like what I don't like about City Skylines, which I feel like is kind of similar in a lot of like those kind of games that I play, is that it gets to a point where all you're doing is just looking at those three bars and just trying to balance them. And
I
that-
agree, but I also think it's the
gets
the
boring.
freedom is boring. Restrictions create like force creativity.
Yeah, for
right? So
sure.
if you're forced to having to do this, yes, there's still some freedom.
That's why
But-
there's a line, right? Then you get that's the restriction.
Yeah, but like with Planet Coaster, I get really into it at the start, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to place like 70 bushes to make this. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, never play it again.
There's freedom. Some people really enjoy that. But I think for a lot of it, it's the same. That's the point of game development. Our restriction is our resources and our time.
Sure.
So you're like, I have to cut this, and this
Don't
if we
pretend
want
your time
this.
is valuable.
Well, some of it. But it's also working within those restrictions.
Yeah.
We can only do this. Okay, how do we make that then work? And I think that's where this would be better than those. You would still have that. I don't know what our 3 bars is. Is it like
That's it.
rich
like,
people, poor people,
Happiness,
happy
pleasure,
Plants.
and pain.
plants, cows, but they don't exist. Beef,
Outside the cows.
lab beef.
lab beef. Rich people, poor people, lab beef.
Those
are the 3 bars.
Those 2 bars, they blur the lines depending on how dystopian we're getting.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about a couple of years ago that city that was going to be there are a couple of guys or like a team of architects were designing they launched a Kickstarter
For a city?
for a city. The city was what's it called? The white city of Gondor. It was Gondor. They wanted to make Gondor
On
in
Kickstarter?
real life. I'm not kidding. Genuinely,
This is not
you
true.
can look this up right now, and it will be.
You sure it's not a miniature?
No,
You're
it
gonna
was.
make
It was
a
intended to
3D
be real.
printed
Where were they going to do this?
It was.
Was the Kickstarter to buy the land?
It was like the
Like,
West
what was
Midlands or something. I don't know. There was.
I mean, you know,
it was.
that's what Tolkien based it all on, right?
Yeah.
So he's probably.
It genuinely was like something. It was somewhere unbelievably, just like you would never imagine it.
Could have taken a day trip to Gondor.
I almost certainly it failed. I never really checked up.
Do you know how I know it failed? Because there's kind of not Gondor in the West Midlands.
It might have. You never know.
I feel like the line is kind of what is that
Yeah.
again.
Oh, I think you're
Yeah.
slightly off.
Oh, was
But
it
you
not
are,
one?
it's Minas Tirith
Minas Tirith that was
on
it.
Get it
on
right.
Indiegogo. So
You got two things
two
wrong.
things
straight
wrong.
away.
Yeah.
There's a thing on a thing.
But they were hoping to raise on Indiegogo 1.85 billion.
Sure.
I mean,
I
Star
don't-
Citizen's getting there.
But it's not even been done ever on even on Kickstarter.
How much did
even
they
Star
raise?
Citizen
800 million Star Citizen, I think.
1.85 billion is what they wanted.
Did it say what they actually managed to raise? Was it even like a million?
£1.80.
25k.
£1.80.
I don't know. That's $2.9 billion. Jesus.
How much
wonder
of
if
that does Indiegogo get? Like,
They went on to form Neon,
Right.
And now they're building the line.
and that's
So,
what
I
the line
mean,
is.
Well, the Lord of the Rings IP is now owned by Embracer Group, who make video games.
Oh, yeah, of
So
course.
I mean,
yeah.
what would the goals be though? Like the donation, the
Well, for-
fundraising goals of like, oh, you spend 200 on this, you get back
would
the land.
Yeah, well, no, you would get property in Minas
You would
Tirith.
literally buy.
Yeah, you would be buying property in Minas Tirith.
What kind of stretch goals are there?
Higher up.
Dragons.
Higher.
We're going to bring dragons back.
We're going to bring wraiths.
I'll do that thing where you
Middle Earth.
become
It's
a
the
lord
ultimate
or a
stretch.
lady.
2 billion, we'll get a Balrog.
Amazing. I can't believe that. That's ridiculous.
All right.
Wow.
We're running out of time, so Solarpunk. I don't think we can do any more with it with the time that we have.
I do like the theme.
I kind
yeah.
of just like the idea of making it like having that like the restriction of a line of a single. You have to build in this space. You don't have like because that's the cool thing about the idea of the line is meant to be like a perfect city because all cities that currently exist, or at least most of them, I think, are generally they're old or they're ancient. And they grow naturally,
Sure.
and so they're inefficient, and so making one is efficient.
They are very inefficient.
Yeah. And also, I do kind of like the idea of, oh my God, that was loud. I do also, just like the idea of, a city builder like this could be cool. I also kind of want to see a game that follows the story of a solarpunk world that has existed for thousands of years and people are used to this.
Yeah.
And like the fucking dark themes of the lowlanders not having sunlight, the rich people being
Yeah,
I
happy.
feel like you
that's-
want
that's-
like a Quantic Dream game set
Kind of, yeah.
on the line.
And obviously it's got Littlefinger in. Was that Quantic Dream?
Which one was he in?
The one after Alan Wake that no one played.
No, that wasn't. I'm talking about
Control,
No, Quantic Dream. They
Quantic
did-
Dream are
Quantic Dreamer.
the cyborg
also not
people.
thinking of-
What the fuck? Heavy Rain and
Oh,
of course, yeah.
Quantic Dream.
Maybe
Yeah.
do I want a heavy rain?
Press
No,
X,
but what was the robot one?
Beyond. No, that
No.
was Beyond Two
Two
Souls.
Souls?
That's not that one. The other one is Chicago.
Detroit Become Human. That's the one.
That, but like
No, Chicago's a musical.
on a line. Are you just throwing a random
I just
New York Beyond?
now I've got Chicago songs stuck in my head.
Is that Quantic
People
Dream? I
like
think it's Quantic
do
Dream.
people like genuinely like those games, or they like them in a kind of
I feel like
meme
they,
way.
they
Detroit, I think, is
sell
really
enough
good.
Yeah.
to justify making more, and they're currently doing a Star Wars one. So
Oh,
All right, look,
Okay, right, stop.
we've got like 5 minutes left, and we have one pitch left, right?
wow.
Well, one very
I
very
think this
quick
is more
pitch
of
to get
a.
through.
This is what we're going to leave you on. We're going to leave you with
Yeah.
a thought, and that thought
Is
is
this like
this pitch.
next
but
time on Pitch, and then we never speak about it ever again.
we'll never ever speak about it.
Right.
But I mean, before we do that, this is Pitch Please. If you enjoyed it, great. You can find many more episodes on Spotify, on
3
iTunes,
years worth.
on
And they're not
YouTube.
related; they're all individual.
They're
Jump
all
in
relatively.
whenever you
want. Yeah, there's a couple
some
of callbacks.
crossover, but a brand new game every episode.
At least one.
And
least
there's about
one.
5 of them where I hated every one idea. So
Yep.
enjoy those.
Yeah, but really enjoy doing these, and we love having the listener pitches in as well, especially the voice recorded ones. We want to hear your luscious tones.
Yeah, please. If this is the first time you've listened to us, if you have ideas, send them in because it's just good to get like new ideas. Also, we're desperate.
Yeah. Also, we're out. We need all the help we can get.
Voice pitches almost certainly going to get played because we just love
We
them.
just love them.
No matter the quality, as we're about to prove
Yeah.
with this final one.
But yeah, thank you for listening to Pitch Please. We'll leave you with this final pitch. Play it away.
Love you, Hugo.
Alex, Bryony is trying to order you food.
Okay, so Super Smash Burgers. You have a food truck or something and you sell food to legally distinct characters. Is it a new, different, exciting, or even good idea? No. But that's all I have. I love you. Smooches and smell you later.
There you go.
Kisses.
From Hugo Troito,
Thanks, Hugo.
Super Smash Burger. We're not talking about this.
Okay.
We're just going to leave you with that. Super Smash Burgers.
Our one listener.
Our
Look,
listener, Hugo Troito. Thank you.
Whatever you record is going to get sent
Hero.
in. Thanks everyone
Thank you
for
very
sticking
much.
with us for this bumper episode. Please listen to us, follow us, send us ideas, whatever. We'll speak to you
Turn
next
up at our
time.
houses.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
there.
everyone.
Don't do that.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.